It's the year 1757 in France. The nation is bleeding. The 7 Years' War, a global conflict that had lasted till 1763, has the country in a stranglehold. On every front, the Prussian war machine is advancing, and in its wake, it is doing what conquering armies have always done, taking prisoners. Thousands of French soldiers, officers, and civilians are being swept up and thrown into Prussian prison. Most of them are fighters, trained for war, hardened for capture. But not this man. He's not a soldier. He's not a spy. He's a pharmacist, an innocent and quiet man of science who had no business being anywhere near a battlefield. And yet here he is, dragged across enemy lines, stripped of everything, shoved into a cold, dark Prussian cell. Every day his captors slide a bowl of something sloppy under that door. Something that is not just despised in France, it's illegal. It's the most dangerous vegetable in Europe. The prisoner's name is Antoine-Augustin Parmentier, and what he does with that bowl of forbidden vegetable is going to change France forever. The Spaniards had brought this vegetable over from South America in the 1500s. By 1640, it had spread across Europe. And almost everywhere it landed, people threw it to the animals. Nobody ate it. Nobody wanted to. In fact, every day there was a new rumor about this vegetable. This vegetable was none other than the humble potato. In France, the fear of potatoes ran so deep that in 1748, the government made it a crime to even grow one. Potatoes cause leprosy, they said. They also believed that it poisoned the body. It was a menace to civilization. And here was Parmentier, eating a sloppy bowl of mashed potato every day in his prison cell. No choice, no alternative. It was this or nothing. The Prussians served mashed potatoes with the intention to make him sick. But he didn't get sick. He didn't waste away. In fact, he got stronger, fatter. When Parmentier walked out of that prison in 1763, he was several kilos heavier than what he was when he was captured. He had eaten the plant that his country feared. The plant they had criminalized, and it had saved his life. Now he was going home, and he was going to burn the whole lie down about potatoes. Back in Paris, the capital of France, Parmentier quickly realized one thing. He couldn't just tell the truth about potatoes. Not in a city where the church, the medical establishment, and the government had spent decades convincing people that this vegetable was dangerous. You don't undo that kind of fear with facts. He needed a different weapon entirely. So he began to build his case in the shadows. In 1772, he submitted an essay to a contest organized by the Academy of Besançon. A careful clinical argument that potatoes could save dysenteric patients from starvation. The judges read it, debated it, and gave him the prize. It should have been a turning point. The Paris Faculty of Medicine even declared potatoes officially fit for consumption for humans. But the resistance didn't soften. In fact, it grew stronger. Parmentier was prevented from using his test garden at the hospital where he was a pharmacist. He was fired from his job. They shut every door he tried to open. Most men would have stopped there, but Parmentier stopped asking for permission. He had spent years trying to convince France through reason and evidence. None of it had worked. So he abandoned reason entirely and reached for something far more powerful: desire. He requested an audience with the most powerful man in France, King Louis XVI. On the king's birthday, he presented the king and Queen Marie Antoinette with a bouquet. Not roses, not lilies, but a bunch of potato blossoms. The queen pinned them in her hair. The king put one in his lapel. In a single afternoon, the most criminalized vegetable in France had become fashionable. But Parmentier was just getting started. King Louis XVI gave Parmentier a patch of land just outside Paris, near Neuilly. Around 42 acres of barren, sandy, wretched ground that nobody wanted. Parmentier planted it wall to wall with potatoes. Then he did something that on the surface made no sense at all. He posted armed guards around the field. Every single day, soldiers with muskets standing watch over a potato field as though it contained rare diamonds. Word tore through Paris almost immediately. What is Parmentier hiding out there? Why does a potato field need armed soldiers? What is so valuable that the king's men are standing guard over it? The city buzzed with suspicion and speculation. People gathered at the edge of the field, straining to see. Theories multiplied. The more people were kept out, the more desperately they wanted in. And then, Parmentier made his next move. He ordered the guards to leave the field unguarded at night. This gave people of Paris the chance they have been waiting for. They crept out of their homes, climbed the fence, and stole the potatoes. They brought them home, cooked and ate them. And then they came back for more. Parmentier had understood something about human nature. People don't want what they are given. They want what they are denied. Then came the year 1785. Harvests failed across France. Wheat rotted in the fields. Bread vanished from the markets. And famine, cold, methodical, unstoppable, began moving north through the country like slow death. Villages ran out of options. Families ran out of time. And there, in the starving north of France, the only thing standing between entire communities and death were the potatoes. Those ugly, sloppy, stolen, criminalized potatoes. They saved thousands of lives. 4 years later, the world witnessed the French Revolution. The king lost his head. The church lost its grip. And in 1794, as the smoke was still clearing, a cookbook appeared on the streets of Paris called the Republican Cook. This cookbook placed the potato at the heart of the new French table. Food of the people, food of freedom. The vegetable that France had once declared illegal and unfit for human consumption was now the symbol of a new republic. Parmentier had done it. Not with force, not with authority, with patience, manipulation, and a psychological operation so elegant that it is still a case study. Parmentier died in 1813 at the age of 76. His grave in Paris is ringed with potato plants. Today, some of France's most beloved dishes like parmentier, potageparmentier carry his name. A metro station in Paris bears his name. A statue watches over the square in Neuilly, the same ground where he once ran his elaborate midnight con. He never fired a weapon or led a revolution. He just understood one profound truth about human nature. The best way to make someone want something is to make them think that they are not supposed to have it. Do let us know what you think about Parmentier's con in the comments. And for more such stories, subscribe to Crime Code Archives.